Hi, writers! Welcome to our first exploration of our TED Ed Student Talks unit. I am so excited, and I hope you are too, so let's get started. So items that we'll be covering today during our first exploration is a structure of the program that we'll be doing all throughout. Our first activity, which is 3 things that would describe me. Our second activity, where we answer some questions about ourselves and then pick a few to share. Going over rules for group discussion. And then activity 3, we're going to create a passion badge. And then the last thing that we'll cover today is just a checkpoint, what we did today, what we accomplished, and what we need to do before tomorrow's lesson. I think you guys are really going to enjoy today's exploration because it involves a lot of creative work. So I had a lot of fun doing it too. Okay, so before we get started, let's go over the materials you'll need for today's lesson. You will need, if you want to, you can print a copy of the idea journal, which I will link on today's slides. Or you can just use your writer's notebook if you don't have access to a printer, or it's a lot of color. So if you just want to save some ink and save some paper, you can just use your writer's notebook for these activities. And then you will need like an index card. If you don't have an index card, just like a piece of paper that's similar to this size for one of our activities. You'll need a pen or pencil, obviously, and then some drawing materials. So you can use pens or markers. I like to use like the twistable crayons. So whatever you prefer to color with. Let's get started. Okay, so the first part of this program that we are diving into first is the discover portion. So the discover portion is where we just explore your ideas. And so today specifically, we're going to be talking about getting to know each other and finding ideas that motivate and inspire us. So again, that's the first part, first of 3. The second part is develop. So we'll begin researching and designing our talk. And then the last portion is share. Sorry, I think the video kind of cuts that off a bit, but I wonder if I can move this actually. Oh, I can. Okay, I'm just gonna stick myself over here. Okay, is share. So that is where we will be rehearsing and delivering our talk. So get excited. All right, let's go ahead, and if you need to gather the materials for today's lesson, go ahead and pause the video here, and then we'll get started. Okay, so now in activity 1, we are going to pick 3 words that describe us. So if you're like me, there's usually always a couple of words that I definitely think describe me, but then it's kind of hard coming up with the third one, or maybe you're having a hard time coming up with all 3. So in that case, what I did was I asked a friend, what are 3 words that you would use to describe me? And that was really helpful because they used a word that I think is true, but I wouldn't have necessarily chosen for myself. So it's really interesting to see how other people see you. So you could reach out to a friend and see, and ask them what are some words they would use to describe you, what are some words that you use to describe yourself. You can sketch these ideas out, or you can just write them creatively. So I will go ahead and share mine here. So I feel that I'm creative, I feel that I'm kind, and I love adventure. So I made sure to write all 3 of those down. Okay, let's move on to activity 2. You can be completing these activities throughout the mini lesson, or you can just watch the whole video and then do the activities after. It's whatever works best for you. Okay, activity 2. So here are some fun questions that are really going to make you think about yourself. And then at the end of this lesson, you'll be asked to pick a few to share on a Flipgrid video with your class. So I just went through and I answered as many as I could. I think I only left a few blank, but honestly, guys, this was probably what took me the longest, was just trying to figure out the answers to these different questions. But they're really good, and it was a good opportunity for me to reflect and think about what's really important to me, and what are some things that I find really interesting. And these questions are specifically designed to kind of help you get to start thinking about like what kind of ideas you might want to consider for your topic. Okay, so you can pause the video here to answer these questions, or you can come back to it. All right, so now let's go ahead and take a second to talk about group expectations. So throughout this writing unit, you guys are going to be sharing a lot of Flipgrid videos, sharing your ideas with each other, with your teachers, and it's all designed to help you prepare for the very end of this unit where you will be delivering your speech to a group of people. So the more often we do these things, the more comfortable we will be at the end when it comes time for that big talk. So there are definitely some rules that we should establish to make sure that we all get the most out of this talk. First of all, I want to make sure that all of our fourth graders feel that this is a safe space to share your ideas, to think differently, to challenge yourself, to challenge others. So what is a safe space? A safe space is a place or environment in which a person or category of people can feel confident that they will not be exposed to discrimination, criticism, harassment, or any other emotional or physical harm. This is very important, you guys, because if anyone feels that they are experiencing any of those negative things, then it's really going to hinder their growth and hinder their progress. So Miss O and I are going to be doing our best to make sure that you guys feel that this is a safe space. And if at any time you feel like that is being threatened, please do not hesitate to let us know so that we can help make sure that this is a great program for everybody involved. So now that I've said all of that, I want you guys to take a couple of minutes to think about what a safe space looks like. Do you feel safe in your classroom? Why or why not? What are some qualities that make you feel safe? Because we want to make sure to keep those in this program. Okay, your exit ticket today is going to have you share if there are any additional things that you think our safe space should require. But I'm going to go over a few mandatory items that we're going to put in place. So some group expectations are that we will agree to assume the best. So this means that everyone in both of our classes has a unique story to tell. Everybody is different. You should be curious about other people's stories. Be interested. Okay, and the second one is listen well. So what's even more important than being an awesome speaker is being an awesome listener, because if you cannot listen, then your speech probably won't turn out that great. So just be really open to listening to other ideas, and that's how we grow. And the last one is to remember that feedback is a gift. So if someone's giving you feedback, it's because they care about you. And we want to work together as a collective unit to help build the best version of our talk. We can only do that with feedback from others, myself included. So I am totally open to your guys' feedback because I will be creating my own TED Talk with you. Okay, let's move on to activity 3, create a passion badge. So this was one of the most fun parts of the lesson, I think. So in your notebook or in your idea journal, you can draw 3 circles and name 3 of your passions. What are 3 big things that you're very passionate about? I will link in today's slides a video of some big projects around the world or issues that we face today that are really passionate to students or that students are really passionate about. So if you're having a hard time getting started, you can watch that for help. I'll also be sure to link mine as an example because I know that it really helps to see other people's work and kind of help get you started. I want you to think about what you care about most. What are some things that are really important to you, and name those things. So you can see mine, I kind of just kind of wrote them down simple here. But then once you have identified those 3 things that are really important to you, And also, I want to make sure that you guys really think outside of the box. A lot of students tend to like answer the exact same thing that they know other people write speeches about. Like, oh, my sister wrote about this. Like, I'll write about this. Like, no smoking. Like, these are all important things. But like, make sure to choose it because it's the most passionate thing for you. So really, really dig it deep inside yourself and try to find some unique answers because that's what's going to make your TED Talk interesting, is if it's unique and it's not something we've heard a million bajillion times. And if it is, just find a unique way of telling that story. Okay, so now the fun part is where you get your index card and your coloring materials and you sketch out some ideas for your passion badge. So your passion badge can have, it should represent you, it should represent your passions. So here are some examples from other student clubs, going all out, and then here's mine. So I also added on some things on there that just make me really happy, bring me joy. Okay, so those are all of our activities for today. So take your time. I think that the more time that you put into this, the more you will get out of it. Today, whenever you finish the lesson, you have the option to sign up for the TED Ed Student Talks newsletter, and they will send you an email with really interesting TED Talks that other students have done, as well as like other great resources. So you're welcome to sign up for that if you would like. And today, we can take a group picture together, holding up like our passion badges. And your homework for today is to pick a TED Talk that you have found that really inspires you, and then share it to our Google Classroom page. All right, that's it. That's all we have for today, guys. So next up, you'll be completing your activities in your student journal, your passion badge. Then you will complete the exit ticket and share your work with us on Flipgrid. So that will be like our discussion. All right, I look forward to seeing everything.